Warner Brothers Pictures Animation just announced a Powerpuff Girls movie, a Hello Kitty feature, and debuted Daffy Season, the first Looney Tunes theatrical short in over a decade that'll play before Cat in the Hat. So, of course, you realize this means podcast.
Are you ready, eager young space cadets?
Meep, meep.
I saw a pussy cat.
Is the limit.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Hello, and welcome to Of Course You Realize This Means Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Graves, and it's been a minute. We have not been on for quite a while, and it's because we've been super busy covering everything Coyote versus Acme, and there is so much to explore with that. There are going to be many shows dedicated to that, but I wanted to get out ahead of it and do the Annecy recap first, because we missed a lot of news on the podcast. And Chris McCord was gracious enough to work with my schedule, and we found time to record this. Chris is such a generous individual. We had to reschedule this multiple times, and I'm super thankful. But I could not be more excited about this show and what is coming in the future. Firstly, though, I want to talk briefly about Coyote versus Acme because it did something remarkable, and it debuted on Rotten Tomatoes with a 101%, which is hysterical and the best Looney Tunes rated movie of all time. The reason that happened is because the first 15 reviews were all positive, and there's a 1% margin of error, and it just calculated it upward as all the reviews were positive to begin with. This has never happened before in the history of Rotten Tomatoes. And I just found it really funny that because everything was coming out positive, that it just skewed positive and resulted in a rare 101% on Rotten Tomatoes. But incredible. Chris, welcome to the show. What was your first takeaway on getting all of that, seeing all that positive review return on the once shelved, now getting released August 28th, Coyote versus Acme, and how overjoyed were you with that news?
I was very overjoyed. It was like very overwhelming, honestly. Like I'm just glad that we're able to even like we get to see this finally. With all the projects that happened at WB that got shelved, I was hoping that one day someone would buy it. And it seemed like no one was. And then Ketchup Entertainment, they released The Day the Earth Blew Up, and as far as I know, that did well, at least well enough to get Coyote versus Acme, right?
It broke even, but the news of the acquisition of Coyote was made within a week of The Day the Earth Blew Up coming out.
Really?
So they were already, in the process of getting that one saved as well. Ketchup Entertainment has been these incredible Looney Tunes saviors, and I could not be more thrilled to finally have this film come out and be able to talk about it. And yeah, just get to see it with people. I want to watch it with more audiences. So yeah, I'm so excited. So Chris McCord, welcome to the show. You are in the world of animation, and you have gotten to work on some really cool stuff. Would you like to share what you've worked on and what brought you into the world of animation in Burbank, California?
Yes. So my last project, and I guess my main project, was Jellystone Season 3.
You need excitement in your life.
Yes, wacky adventures with a plethora of your favorite characters.
Quick question. Is it going to be dangerous?
It absolutely is.
That
Very
was
cool.
That was the call it a dream come true would be an understatement, because I got to work with a lot of people that I looked up to growing up, a lot of people that like honestly motivated me to get into animation in the first place. Like obviously C.H. Greenblatt, Carl, he's an amazing individual. I also got to work with Maxwell Adams, also an amazing individual. And for my basically what was my first job in animation, everyone was so nice and patient with me and got
Nice.
to let me be a little loose with my drawings, which is nice. Yeah, and the humor of Jellystone was just like so up my alley. It was just very, what's the word, unhinged. It was
Unhinged,
incredibly, yeah,
wacky, off the charts. Yeah,
yeah,
it's everything.
and got to have to professionally draw characters I grew up on, like Jabberjaw and Yogi Bear, and like there was an episode where we did the Flintstones. It was just like,
Yeah, all the Hanna-Barbera classics.
in the Cartoon Network crossover episode that we did, that was like over the top for me, because I was like, I didn't think I would ever get paid to draw Billy or Dexter,
Yeah.
on an official project. That was like, what?
And if you want to hear more about that, we've actually had the writer on the show who went into his in-depth breakdown of how that came about and his love for the characters. So go back and check out that Cartoon Network crossover on Jellystone. But yeah, so we're going to get to another CH Greenblatt show that is up and coming in our show notes today. But first, let's take it back. Take it back to the start of Annecy. This was in June of this year. And unfortunately, I was unable to attend as it was in France. One day I'll go to France.
Yeah, I'm right
I
there
really
with
want to
you.
go.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah. We'll make it out one year.
One
But
year.
Warner Brothers Pictures Animation was on stage, and Bill Damaski, the new boss of Warner Brothers Pictures Animation, got on stage and said that the controversies surrounding The Day the Earth Blew Up and Coyote versus Acme are going to be a thing of the past, and they really want to end the era of canceled releases, and corporate caution is over. And I am all about it. I do not want to see. I mean, the whole reason why we're fighting for Coyote versus Acme so hard to do well in the box office in the coming weeks is because we want to show corporations that artists should not be silenced. That is a huge proponent of this film, of its marketing. The movie Acme doesn't want you to see. Like, it's right there in your face.
Yeah.
And I love that they leaned into that. But yeah, like, we need Warner Brothers to really utilize these characters in new and exciting ways that get people reinvigorated by the stories that can be told with them. That is the whole point of this podcast, of like animation, of, you know, the longevity of the studio. And to see how they had been treated in the past was just abysmal. And I hope that maybe one day Warner Brothers will actually acquire Catch Up Entertainment and they can bring all of this under one umbrella again. But until then, let's just celebrate Catch Up Entertainment as its own thing, and its, you know, saving grace to Coyote versus Acme and The Day the Earth Blew Up, both of which I highly recommend. And then let's move into a future where we get the love and respect the characters need in their own Warner Brothers proper release.
Yes.
Like that's the goal here.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So Warner Brothers Pictures Animation has a new slate of titles. They are starting with The Cat in the Hat this November. Yes, it had a release date. Yes, it had a couple of trailers already. And it will have the first featured short with the Looney Tunes in over a decade. The last one was with, I believe it was Cats and Dogs 2. There might have been one right after that as well, but there were the 3D Wile E. Coyote shorts, no dialogue, just antics and visual gags. And, you know, they had their time in the sun. They were kind of few and far in between. It was like one every 2 years, I want to say, but they were always paired with these lesser films from Warner Brothers that were trying to aim for just kids. And then they put these Wile E. Coyote shorts on there, I guess to attract the older audiences, but we couldn't gauge the success. So we're moving past that, and hopefully with the different blending of styles that we've already seen in Cat in the Hat, and then making the Looney Tunes this new kind of stylized CGI akin to Spider-Verse, I think it might be a good blending that really elevates the characters in the minds of audiences. And yeah, we should see what happens. So the first Daffy short clip was online around the same time as the World Cup was in its final weeks. And that short is based around Elmer Fudd being obsessed with soccer and Daffy being like, hey, where's the guy that I'm supposed to, pull one over on because it's hunting season. And so he goes looking for Elmer and then finds the rest of the Looney Tunes sitting on a couch watching soccer.
Boy, do I love soccer season.
It's supposed to be duck season. Soccer season. Duck season. Soccer season. What's up, Guac?
Guacamole.
They changed the offense!
Oh, now we're talking.
That's the way to play.
Time to pull the plug on this so-called soccer season.
So, Chris,
Yes.
what do you think of that premise? And what did you think of the clip that was released?
I think the premise is really funny and very timely because of the World Cup.
Definitely.
I will say, after seeing the clip, the style looks interesting. It's not quite what I was expecting, especially after seeing the title card that got released a few months back.
Yeah, it was very like Obsession
Yeah.
esque,
Oh,
where it
yeah.
was like Daffy in the dark and like red all around him, and he was like on this staircase.
Mm-hmm.
Very ominous.
Yeah, very ominous. And I guess I would have to see the full short, but from the clip that I saw, it looks like they're going really hard on like the abstract shapes, especially like in the backgrounds, which is nice. I feel like the way the characters are rendered, it's like, I don't really know how to describe it, but I feel like it's closer to what the Cat in the Hat looks like. I'm not sure if it's the same studio behind it.
Right. Like
Yeah.
it's a blending of CGI and 2D.
Yeah,
And they're
it's
using 2D animation techniques, but
Yeah,
in
that's
CGI.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a mix between that and a little bit of like, what do they call it? Cell shading in
Yes.
3D?
Cell
Yeah.
shading.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks interesting. I think the last short that was released, wasn't it Daffy's Rhapsody?
No, that was before the
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so there was Daffy's Rhapsody, and then I Taught a Putty Tat.
Okay.
And those were, I believe, before the again, those were also CG rendered versions of the characters, and it utilized audio from the retro era of like Mel Blanc
Yeah.
singing I Taught a Putty Tat, and other things akin to that.
Yeah.
This is the first original story with Eric Bauza and Jeff Bergman, and the voice team coming in and giving it their own spin. And the writing seems to be like they're making puns out of their own catchphrases.
Yeah.
Which
What's up,
is
Glock?
yeah, it's an interesting choice. I'm going to hold reservations on how I feel about that until I see the whole thing play out. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for kids to be reintroduced to the characters in this way, just because it feels like they're having fun, and I'm all about that. I like when characters come out of retirement, if you will, and they're presented this way to the kids. Because it's shiny old new thing,
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna hold my reservations, but I will say it's a little weird that all of the Looney Tune characters are hanging out together, because I like to call it Bugs and Co. It's not Bugs Bunny and friends. They're not friends. They're antagonists.
Yeah.
Frenemies is closer to the verbiage I would use. And to see them just hanging out watching soccer, minus Daffy, I'm just a little bit like, what are we doing here? Are we Muppetizing them? Like, what are we trying to say here?
It feels very Space Jam in terms of like like how they lump all these characters together, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. It just feels like we're watching the mascot versions of these characters and not how they would regularly behave in the shorts.
I like that terminology, the mascot versions of the characters.
Yeah. It's also one thing I noticed, speaking of Space Jam, when Lola spoke in the clip, I was thinking, is that Zendaya voicing her again?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I doubt it.
Okay, yeah, because it's like I feel like if it was, they would have like promoted that as such, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
definitely. But yeah, Lola is here, Speedy is here. You know, some of these characters that we don't get a whole lot of FaceTime with, they are present. Is Pepe in this? I don't know.
You know?
Well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But it is a very interesting and unique direction to take it, and who knows? Maybe they are going to do a whole film in this style. I don't know. It is up in the air, but we'll see
For
under this
sure.
new, company label and this new direction how it all plays out.
For sure.
So, going back to the slate, we had Cynthia Erivo and Nkuti Gatwa, Bad Fairies. I almost called Bad Bunnies.
Yeah.
Bad Fairies, which adds D. Bradley Baker, the voice of Daffy Duck from Space Jam and New Looney Tunes, to its cast. It also includes Sorana Suling Bliss and James Acaster from Ghostbusters. So that film looks promising, and I kind of like the fairy tales, like behind the scenes of the fairy tale, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that turns out.
It looks
Does
interesting,
that one
yeah.
pop off to you in any respect?
I mean, the only thing that really popped off, like for me, was the promotional image that they put out. Like, I kind of like the style that they're going for. I like that it's vaguely like, I don't know, the main character like looks kind of Disney-esque, and like every other character that I'm seeing here looks a little more expressive, which I think it's fun.
Yeah,
But that's
definitely.
all
It's
I
got like a grimy kind of style to it, I want to
yeah.
say.
I will say this red character that I'm seeing in the image kind of reminds me of the Bad Robot logo.
Oh yeah, I think I thought that as well when I first saw
I
it.
like the face. It's a very funny
I
face.
like that they're taking chances and doing new things with the animation styles. And I will also say Bad Fairies is the first musical on the slate, and there
Okay.
are 3 musicals that they are doing, which harkens back to Warner Brothers' heyday. And I mean, Warner Brothers was the first studio to release the first talkie, so
Yeah.
let's keep on that trend and bring musicals back to Warner Brothers. I think that's a really fun swing that they're doing. Who
Yeah.
knows if it will pay off, but I will be
Well,
seated.
hopefully, I'll be seated. I mean, they got Cynthia on board, so it makes sense that it's a musical.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, who better to star in this fairies movie than Cynthia Erivo, who has just
Exactly.
a beautiful voice,
Beautiful,
and
beautiful
will
voice.
definitely bring the Wicked fans out to the theater. So next we have another Wicked actress with Ariana Grande and the Wicked director John M. Chu joining forces for Oh the Places You'll Go. This is a adaptation of the Dr. Seuss book, and it will also star Josh Gad and be a musical as well. So I really like that they are going very whimsical with all of the right people. That's what it
Yeah,
feels like.
exactly.
Yeah. And so I'm very much looking forward to this. I think that they have a lot of inspiration. And John M. Chu said that this was one of his favorite books to read to his kids. So
Aw.
I believe that. And I believe that he has already some really fun ideas to explore within the world of Seuss. And I like that we're leaning in Seuss with obviously starting with Cat in the Hat and then continuing with Oh, the Places You'll Go. Is this going to be like a Seuss universe that they're building? Are they going to be interconnected, or are they going to be their own separate things? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So next we have Prehistoria. This is from the Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss creator. Vivian Madrano has been a YouTube talent for some time, and I'm glad that Warner Brothers has picked up on her way of storytelling and taking chances in that space, and now bringing it to a theatrical musical outside of the Helliverse in Prehistoria. Now, this is actually the second type of project that Warner Brothers has done like this. Warner Brother fans might know, but Hysteria.
Oh, shoot.
Hysteria was a animated take from 1998 to 2000 around different aspects of history, and they were animated and they were, done for educational and
Yeah.
informational purposes. Tom Ruger, who was also the creator, was also a part of Tiny Toons and Animaniacs and all
Mhm.
that stuff, and so there was a lot of fun antics going on within that world. And I'm wondering if they're going to look at that and bring any of those types of visual gags or that type of humor over into this. I don't know. But that wasn't a musical. This is. So
Yeah.
we shall see how it goes.
I do remember that show too. I don't have strong opinions on it, but it is very much another type of Animaniacs type of show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that sensibility was definitely prominent in the 90s, and they were boundary pushing with what happened in
Mhm.
history. And, a lot happened that isn't kid friendly. And
Yeah.
so it's very interesting to, make jokes on that and propel that forward. So
I
I'm
will.
really excited to see what this Prehistoria does with that premise and how it will bring in the Helliverse fans as well as modern audiences and explore, some stuff outside of the major IP stuff.
Yeah, I'm also like really interested to see Vivzy tackle something that is more family friendly.
Yeah. Yeah. And a fun side note, I was actually working as a account manager for her content over
Oh,
at Studio 71 about 10 weeks ago.
awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah. So I had a really fun time watching all of the stuff that was coming in and all of her previous stuff. And yeah, I'm so excited for her and the progress that she's made over the years.
That's very exciting. I
Yeah.
also want to say, like, based on the concept art that was released from this movie, I'm getting a bit of a Don Bluth vibe. I don't know if like that's
Ooh.
intentional. I do know one of Vivzy's inspirations was Cats Don't Dance. And
Okay.
this being a musical, I wonder if it's gonna like go into that sort of vibe, maybe? Maybe
Yeah,
like
maybe.
maybe jazzy music. I'm not sure. I know Has Been Hotel has a little bit of that for a
It
lot.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cats Don't Dance being a Warner Brothers, film as well, I can see that that inspiration could come from within the studio and then being pushed forward, which is a lot like some of the other design choices and the other narrative choices that I'm seeing,
Mhm.
harkening even back to making Tweety the mascot of the new logo and having it go from the sketched out studio into a fully rendered animated logo with Tweety showcasing that transition. And another fun fact is that the last short released under the original Termite Terrace was actually a Tweety short directed by Fritz Freeling, who was the longest running director there. And it was called The Last Hungry Cat in 1961. And that was before the whole, closing of the doors and then moving to Warner Brothers Studios proper a
Mhm.
few years later and reopening and being a contractor for future Looney Tune shorts into the 60s. Um, but I see the continuing with Tweety as the mascot as it makes a lot of sense, and they're leaping off of that era as a creative inspiration into this new era. And that's how I'm connecting those dots. I don't know if that's intentional, but I'm seeing it as intentional. And so the same thing maybe with the Cats Don't Dance inspiration and a few of these other things.
Yeah. I think it probably was intentional.
I'm thinking so too, because why would you not have Bugs Bunny, as your
Exactly.
mascot? Which would have harkened back to the 90s and have been a different, continuation of a bygone era. But
Mhm.
that era wasn't, um, it didn't continue in the way that I feel like it should have. It should have had more opportunities, and it was neglected, those opportunities, let's just say. So
Mhm.
here we go with more opportunities on the docket for this slate. We have Margie Claus, an animated film with Melissa McCarthy and her sensibilities set around the holiday. This has been in the works for some time, and I guess they are finally putting some heavy thoughts behind it and pushing it forward, and getting the, you know, the love it needs, and hopefully it comes out and surprises people. I know Melissa McCarthy as a brand has been waning over the years, but with the animated aspect, I think that's all new for her, and
Yeah.
that might be able to push through to new audiences.
Yeah. I will say there isn't too much out there about this movie. They did put out the official logo, and I will say I dig the rake and bass like vibe that they have here. I mean, that alone has me kind of interested in it.
Definitely. Definitely. And again, harkening back to previous inspired choices. And if
Yes.
they pull in Rankin Bass as a huge inspiration for this project, could we see different animation styles? Could we see a stop motion element to this? Or, you know, going even beyond that, could it tie into other properties like Frosty, like the Christmas That Almost Wasn't, or Rudolph, and like have different stories be within this same universe and go from there. Like I don't know, but also Mrs. Claus has never had a name, so
True.
having that be the front, like, part of this, being like, here's the title, and we're giving a name to this no name character for, you know, almost a century now. Like, that's really exciting to me, you know, like new ground and new stories within the familiar. I think that is really inspiring.
Very.
That was more about Margie Claus than I thought I'd have.
I mean, you got me excited for it, honestly. Like, I hope they tackle different like art styles with it.
Me too. I mean, so far we're seeing different art styles in Cat in the Hat just in the trailers. And so I'm like, are we going to have that be a through line for a way to stand out from Disney? I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. So, Dynamic Duo is a bold version of Gotham being produced by Matt Reeves' company. And it actually showed a sneak peek at Annecy that shook audiences. I am very much looking forward to this film, as it is a new Batman in universe animated movie. And if you know me, you know how much I love The Mask of the Phantasm, which was the first ever fully animated Batman film. This is going to follow Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, the incarnations of Robin from who knows what universe, appearing in, something that we just talked about, stop motion animation.
Yes.
And this film is set to release June 30th, 2028. The film is directed by Arthur Mintz and written by Matthew Aldrich, and the writing team of Scott Neustruder and Michael Weber. I apologize if I mispronounce any of those names. But how exciting. We're going to get a stop motion Batman animated film. Wow. Yes. I was not expecting that.
Not only that, but I'm extremely excited for the studio that's making this, which is Swaybox Studios. And a few years ago, they put out a few animation tests, or well, not animation tests, but a few like puppetry, I guess animatronics and like CG, and it was synced up to audio from the Iron Giant, and it looked incredible. I have not seen anything like that before.
Oh wow. And I haven't seen that either.
I need to show this to you, right?
Yes, please send it my way. I love the Iron Giant.
I'm pretty sure Dynamic Duo is going to look like this. So
okay. Wow. Okay, so now I understand why it shook audiences. So here's the curveball to this project. Mm-hmm. It is being written by the team, the two writers that I mentioned. They wrote 500 Days of Summer.
Oh.
Yeah. So their sensibilities mixed with these crazy characters who are always at odds with each other, the two Robins, is going to be very fascinating.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, and if it's animated like this, oh my gosh, that is definitely going to make waves.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be like the next Spider-Verse in terms of just like shaking up the whole industry.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I was
Yeah,
unaware
absolutely.
of that Iron Giant test. So that
Very good.
is very exciting. Can I just have one of those puppets hanging out in my office? Like,
I
that's
would
what I
love
want.
that. That's what I want too.
Okay, so next we have more exciting IP news. There's going to be a Hello Kitty first theatrical feature under this new banner, and it's being produced by Sanrio and New Line Cinema. So you have so much merchandise, and the kids already are growing up with the Sanrio friends through the YouTube specials, through the connections that they have with Universal. So now imagine Warner Brothers just taking that up to the next level. What animation style that's going to be, I'm very
Hmm.
excited to know, because they keep changing. And Hello Kitty has been around for so long that it has gone through multiple iterations and has had multiple generations of recognition. So that one has me intrigued as well. Not much is known outside of the fact that it's just been announced, but I I'm really looking forward to taking my daughter to this one because she's already a fan of Hello Kitty. So let's wait for more, but
Yeah.
I am seated, I will
I,
say.
I'm honestly surprised it took this long to for them to make a Hello Kitty movie.
Same, right there with you.
And also, like, this is under New Line Cinema.
Right.
I think that's interesting that they're releasing an animated film. They don't normally release stuff under that banner. I know Fixed was almost going to be, but then uh Netflix took it. But
Right. Fix was shopped around. It was originally made by Sony, and
yes,
then there was talks of it going to New Line, and then yeah, Netflix is where it landed. That is correct. New Line is usually known for horror movies,
yes,
not
yeah,
animated movies, especially Hello Kitty.
exactly.
However, Hello Kitty has interacted with the Universal monsters in many ways,
That's
so
true.
maybe there is going to be a horror element
Maybe.
to this film. I do not know, but can you imagine if the first Hello Kitty film we get is actually a horror movie?
I It would be awesome if the first Hello Kitty movie was weird as hell.
I think I need it to be at this
it
point.
Yeah, it really needs it just needs to be.
Yeah, because whenever they threw that New Line association in there too, I also was taken aback because that is a definite, like a definitely, that is definitely a bizarre choice, and you're talking to another department that is again known for non-animated stuff.
Mhm.
So it could be this blending of genres we've never seen before, and maybe that's why it's finally happening. I don't know.
That, that would make sense.
Yeah. Another project we don't have a whole lot of information on is going to be the animated adaptation of the New York Times best-selling young adult series, The Lunar Chronicles. So it's a very popular series, and it also includes these science fictional twists on classic fairy tales, including Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and Snow White. So again, this could be another link to the past where they're doing these weird adaptations or abstract adaptations of fairy tales, something that Disney has been doing forever, ever since their first feature with Snow White,
Mhm.
and Warner Brothers had only been doing in Looney Tunes shorts. And so maybe this is another callback to, let's take something that was done in the past, but now this new thing is representing them in the current era, and then here we are in today's world. So this series started in 2012 and had a book usually every year until 2015, when it came out with 5 books in 2015,
Mm.
or sorry, it came out with 3 books in 2015.
Okay.
A little bit more reasonable. However,
Yeah.
that was still a lot. That was still a lot.
Yeah,
So
very
there are
much.
6 books in total. Here is one of the so the first one is called
Mhm.
Cinder, based on Cinderella, and it's about a cyborg living with her stepmother and her two stepsisters in New Beijing of the
Oh,
Eastern Commonwealth, works as a mechanic in a booth at the marketplace where she meets Crown Prince Kato, who requests that she fixes his personal former tutor android after Cinder's younger stepsister Peony comes into contact with letumosis. A plague takes place throughout the series. Cinder is forcibly volunteered for cure testing. As a result, many previously unknown details regarding Cinder's origins resurface. At the same time, tensions are rising between Earth and Luna, a lunar colony where most of the citizens have special abilities, with Prince Kaito caught in the middle between his people and the villainous Lunar Queen.
that's
So,
that sounds.
the
Can I
Lunar Chronicles. Yes.
wait? Can I wait? Do we cuss on this podcast?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
curse.
that sounds batshit insane. I would absolutely watch that.
There you go. So the people at Warner Brothers Animation were like, we need this as our next big IP. And I guess they're going to be adapting that in the coming years. What a wild take and a new take on this century old tale. I I am also very intrigued by this, and let's hope that there's a new style behind that one,
Yeah,
because it seems like there's going to be a new style behind each one of these.
I hope so. I mean, judging by the what you were describing, I can see why this series is popular now.
Definitely. As far as WBPA, this kind of wraps up the slate that they have announced. However, it was hinted at that there are plans for a new Tom and Jerry adventure, a sweeping ThunderCats spectacle, and a Meerkats film. This is all very interesting because these are some heavy hitter IPs that they're
Yes.
just kind of dropping as, hey, maybe we're going to be doing this in the future as well. I mean, this slate takes us into, I believe, 2030.
Okay.
And so I guess we're going to be waiting on that Tom and Jerry movie for a while.
Maybe there's actually a little bit of information that they put out about the Tom and Jerry movie, plot wise.
So I do know that it was written by the team behind Toy Story 4.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, they drew comparison between this movie and La La Land.
That's correct.
In that it's supposed to be like a rom-com in the style of that movie.
So the funny thing is,
And like
La La Land was the backdrop, and they used it as a testing for integrating animation and live action for the 2021 Tom and Jerry movie.
that is true.
And so when you type in Tom and Jerry La La Land, you already get a lot of interest because that scene with Tom dancing
Yes.
has already been online for years. And so I think they are very much leaning into that.
It's a very good test.
But what's interesting is that's not really a Tom and Jerry story.
No.
So I'm curious as to, again, I guess we're getting another musical.
Yes.
Because how can you do La La Land without it being a musical?
Exactly.
But it's just going to incorporate the animated characters alongside the humans again. Like I'm not sure what the inspiration here is directly associated with the La La Land comparison.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure myself. Apparently they might also be like fixing up a relationship in that movie, which is like, well, they kind of did that in the last one.
Yeah, very interesting, very odd,
very strange.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I am a fan of the writing team, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. ThunderCats.
ThunderCats ho!
ThunderCats ho! ThunderCats is like so interesting to me because WB has been trying to resurrect that for the last, I think, decade, 13 years.
Sure.
There was the reboot in 2011. There was ThunderCats Roar. Both very fun projects, but unfortunately just couldn't really get off the ground, either through like network meddling or other reasons,
Sure.
which sucks. But I mean, I'm glad that they're still trying with ThunderCats. ThunderCats is a cool concept.
It is. Yeah, I like
Bringing
these
that,
warriors living next to these crazy cats.
yeah, bringing that into the theater is, it's not a bad idea. Like, I'd be down to see that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So moving on, let's do the Warner Brothers animation. This is, again, different than Warner Brothers Pictures animation in that this is a completely different department and focused on just the animated projects. So first we have Adventure Time, which is going to be called Bubblegum and Marceline. This is a new series coming to HBO Max, and I assume it's the same people that did Fiona and Cake, which was a continuation of the first and original Adventure Time.
Yes.
Wonderful.
What I assume and what I hope this is, at least it's like basically another season of Fiona and Cake, but the focus is more on Bubblegum and Marceline. That's what I'm hoping, at least.
I have some very good friends that are they love the Marceline character, so I'm glad that she's getting front and center, at least in the title of this. So I assume we're gonna switch up perspectives and just keep going.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, Marceline is incredible. I think they're just gonna just keep making Adventure Time stuff, because that's what makes, that's like to me it feels like that's a safe bet as far as Cartoon Network IP, which
Definitely,
I guess it's fine. I love Adventure Time. It's a great series. Excited to see more.
It's almost as evergreen and continuous as Rick and Morty. At this point,
exactly.
You can always count on Rick and Morty coming back at for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if there is an end in sight for Adventure Time or any of these other projects that have been going on for a while over at HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have a new take on Conan the Barbarian. This is coming from Genndy Tartakovsky from Primal, as well as Dexter's Lab and the classic, slate of Cartoon Network titles that we all grew up with. I am very excited about anything Genndy does, including Fixed. I watched Fixed just because Genndy, was the director of it.
Yeah.
Not exactly my cup of tea, but I'm glad that it came out because art should not be silenced. Go see Wile E. Coyote versus Acme on August 28th.
I feel the same way. I was a little scared for Fix because I did not think that was going to see the light of day, and I'm glad it did.
Yeah,
even though it's not my cup of tea either.
Yeah.
With Conan, I specifically remember scrolling through social media and like getting hit with the announcement post for that, and I'm very excited for it, but I also couldn't help but laugh because this feels the most Genndy project ever. I'm just like, of course he would make a Conan the Barbarian show.
But what a great IP to brush off, I mean, and also it's never been animated.
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually surprised about that. I imagine this is a dream project for Genndy also.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I'm really bummed we never got to see his Popeye.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean,
say la vie.
Who knows? maybe one day.
Maybe one day
they'll let him back in the building at Sony. Well, they already have. He's working on other stuff there, but they'll let him do Popeye eventually.
All right, so now let's move over to the DC animated Warner Brothers animation projects.
We are losing this fight.
Not a fight anymore, boss. It's a war.
It's our job to protect this city, no one else's.
Yeah, you and your bat buddy.
When we get rid of the Batman, Gotham will be ours.
This is going to be different than the projects that they did on their own DC animation panel. This is just going to be what Warner Brothers Animation is working on and coming out very soon, if not already out, such as Cape Crusader Season 2, finding a home over at Amazon Prime still. and having really good reviews for a Batman animated series. This is very unexpected, but I'm glad J.J. Abrams was like, hey, we need to continue doing something like this. And Bruce Timm is also a part of it from the Batman animated series show from the 90s. If you haven't seen it, check it out. They've done some fun gender swapping. They have pushed the envelope in different ways for the character and the style. So go check it out. And if you like it, let us know. Have you seen Cape Crusader, by the way, Chris?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen a full episode, but I have seen clips, and some of my friends who are huge Batman fans have talked to me about it, and I'm like, that sounds really, really good. I need to find the time to watch it because it sounds incredible.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would sign off on that as well.
Yeah.
So your Batman friends are also probably aware that the Nightfall, which is the storyline with Bane breaking Batman's back, which was the inspiration for The Dark Knight Rises, is getting animated. This is going to come out a la The Dark Knight Returns, part 1 and part 2. However, they've made it a trilogy. So it is a bigger book. It is a bigger book than The Dark Knight Returns. There is a lot that's happening in Gotham. You have the different factions rising up. You have, the city being broken down and the bridges collapsing and all this stuff. So there's a lot of material here.
Bruce Wayne, a boy of privilege, a boy of tragedy. I know what you play at during the night. Batman.
You haven't slept since Arkham exploded 2 days ago.
I'll rest when everyone that's escaped is captured.
Maybe we should ask John Paul for help.
He's a bomb that needs to be defused.
How can I live knowing there's something inside of me that can do such harm?
Your hero, Commissioner? Stop! He's losing control.
And they are taking the time to tell it all. Now, I do know that there was a screening of part 1 at Annecy. I unfortunately haven't talked to anybody who saw it, so I can't report on that. But I am looking forward to this because I really liked the other adaptations of these graphic novels that they've done. And I'm looking forward to this one just as much. So this story also includes John Paul Valley, who is Azrael in the comics.
Oh, wow.
And he is just a brute force going through Gotham. And yeah, it's a really good adaptation of the the looking at Bruce's psyche and what this job does to him.
This this trailer is kind of nuts. That is a terror. I mean, Bane is usually terrifying, but that is like a scary, scary Bane.
As he should be.
Yeah, as he should be. Also, I like the Mad Hatter's design.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like Scarecrow's design in that too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. And as you were saying, it comes out next week.
Yes.
Where can people see that next week?
On digital on the 25th of August.
On digital on the 25th of August. I cannot wait. Very much looking forward to that. So yeah, it's going to be a 3-part feature adaptation. So next we had some huge news because we have a Disney voice actor playing a DC hero, with Ali Gravallo playing Jessica Cruz, who is a Green Lantern. And she's going to make her appearance in My Adventures with Superman and then have her spinoff series called My Adventures with Green Lantern.
Yes.
This is a very cool thing and very rare thing. I don't think there have been any Disney princess voice actors who have voiced a DC heroine or hero. So this is such a really rare moment. And I'm so excited for it because I am a big fan of hers. And I think that she's going to kill it. And she's also been out and out Green Lantern fan for a while. So this is very
really?
exciting.
I did not know that. That's very cool.
So the series is going to be set in LA and held at Hal Jordan Memorial High School. And Jessica Cruz trains in a temple to understand what it means to be a Green Lantern. A short clip of Jessica transforming was shown, and Ali sings the oath. So that's really cool too. They got her singing as well.
That's very cool. I do imagine or predict that her singing the oath and the transformation scene is probably going to be a Sailor Moon-esque transformation.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, since like the show and like Superman is very like anime based.
Yes. And there's one other anime thing that we're going to talk about, but we're not there yet because that's going to be in the future slate of DC animation announcements. We have a couple more to get through, and then we're going to go over there. Okay. So next we have a Starfire series. This is going to follow Starfire, the character from Teen Titans, and her adventures. So she's never had her own series before, and that's very cool. So get it?
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle is also going to get his own series. And then there will be a Super Mutant Magic Academy. All of these are very early stages, but I am excited to see how they transpire over time. Chris, did you see anything online about these 3 projects that sparked your interest?
Yeah, Starfire specifically, I'm very interested in because I'm very familiar with the creator's work. She's also very, very nice.
Nice.
I believe the theme song for Starfire, I think they're gonna get Puffy Amiyumi for that.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, so they're bringing them back from Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go to do the theme for that.
Nice.
I know that this show was originally pitched to be a preschool show, but I think it's now a 6 to 11 type show.
Okay, cool. A little bit of a older demographic than the Teen Titans Go, I guess, or it would be on par with Teen Titans Go.
I believe it's a little different from Teen Titans Go. It's less what do you call it? I mean, it's not slapsticky.
Okay.
I feel like it's probably sort of in a similar vein as the original Teen Titans series, just like a lot less serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Who is the creator?
Brienne Drohard. Her comic series is Harpy Gee.
Okay.
Popular comic series, but she's also been in animation for a while. I think she actually worked on the original Teen Titans show as well.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, so she's been in it for a bit.
Congratulations to her! I'm excited to see how it comes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, this is her first show that she's show running.
Okay.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Very cool. Yeah, very exciting. Let's just jump into the DC animated projects that were announced. So we know very little about these except for what was said at Annecy. Mm-hmm. And let's just go down them. So as mentioned before, we have My Adventures with Green Lantern, Ali coming in as the voice of Jessica Cruz. Next, we have DC Superpowers. This draws inspiration from the 1980s DC Superpowers toys, set at Justice League Academy, where kids train to become licensed heroes. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Black Canary, Mr. Terrific, and other appear as adults who serve as teachers. Now, is that giving you Tiny Toons vibes? Because it's giving me Tiny Toons vibes.
Yes. I was going to say those exact words. It's like if this was a comedy, this would be like Tiny Toons, but with DC heroes.
I mean, it could be a comedy.
It could be.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That's true. We don't know.
Honestly, I hope it's a comedy.
I hope so too.
And then there was one comment on the post whenever that was made that said, "That's just My Hero Academia with extra steps."
That's also very true.
I thought that was very funny. I wanted to include it.
It's very funny.
Next, we have an announcement from your friend and co-collaborator, C.H. Greenblatt, who worked on Jellystone and multiple projects. He also tried to pitch a Daffy and Porky sci-fi adventure series that was not picked up. More on that in a future episode, but yes. He is doing a crypto series that is going to be a little different than the crypto shorts that you can watch on HBO Max that were done by Looney Tunes cartoons animators Ryan Kramer. And also he's a friend of the podcast and he's been on the show a couple of times. So definitely check out those shorts before you see the crypto series from C.H. Greenblatt in the coming years.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we have that anime connection that I was talking about earlier. This is going to be the first ever DC Studios animated project that is in the style of anime, true Japanese anime, and it's called Joker Laugh Riot. This was announced at Annecy Festival, and I am super excited about this and the possibilities of what could happen. The premise is that Batman has been mysteriously murdered, and instead of celebrating, the Joker launches a ruthless, violent crusade throughout Gotham's criminal underworld to hunt down the killer who robbed him of his greatest adversary.
That sounds incredibly cool. I guess with no Batman, there is no Joker.
Yeah, and what happens when Joker's left without Batman?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He goes batshit crazy.
He goes off the deep end. I love it.
I am another reason I'm interested in this is that the director of this show was also part of the art department of a movie called Chow, which I highly recommend that movie. It's a very extremely weird movie.
Very cool.
I don't want to elaborate on that. I just say just look it up for yourself.
What year did it come out?
It came out last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to see it at Animationist Film Festival.
Oh, I love that festival here in Hollywood.
It's very cool.
So cool. All right, I'm going to check that out. Thank you.
Yes.
And last, but certainly not least, we had the announcement that we are getting a brand new Batman animated series. However, it will follow the storyline developed by Scott Snyder, who is also serving as the show's showrunner, and it's Absolute Batman. This is ridiculous that we are getting this as a show because this Batman is brutal.
Very brutal.
And the current comics are exploring the other heroes within that same world, where Batman's parents were not wealthy. They were in poverty, and then they were killed in Crime Alley. And then this is Batman without the money, without the wealth, and just his tenacity, it's his exploration of what is Batman without the wealth and how does that change a man. And it gets real dark.
It gets really dark.
I am very excited for this to be animated and for it to come out in the coming years. I know that there are a lot of fans that are excited about this adaptation, and I'm currently wearing my Roosevelt's Absolute Batman shirt, which you can buy over at roosevelts.com. Shout out to Roosevelt's. They are one of the best companies that is doing IP related shirts and products for men and women and kids. And I'm so excited that they got their hands on these drawings and these characters. So expect more from them for that line, and expect more from Warner Brothers as they traverse new ground and try to elevate what has come before and where we are going with, thanks to the past. It seems like they're looking at the past and looking at what worked and now bringing that forward. That's what I'm getting from this entire thing. And it's I'm excited about that. That's like what they've been needing to do for a while. And I will also say that Scott Snyder wrote my favorite iteration of the Riddler in the comics whenever he was doing Year Zero and that take on the Riddler, which was very much akin to the animated series version. But yeah, I mean, his writing is just incredible, and him being the showrunner really shows that Warner Brothers really wants to, step up what they've already been doing and showcase these comic creators and writers in a way that we've never seen before. And I honestly, I'm truly excited about it.
Yeah. With Absolute Batman, that's something I definitely need to check out because it's something I didn't really know much about before the announcement of the show.
Okay.
The day it was announced, I was talking to another friend who's a huge Batman head. They showed me something that sold me on the comic.
Oh, what did they show you?
They showed me the Joker sitting on a throne of dead babies.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
it gets dark, people.
I was like, this is extremely up my alley. I need to read this comic when I get a chance.
Yes, it is. It is a very heavy page turner. I will say. All right, Chris, we did it. We went through the
Yeah.
entire Annecy lineup. What are your final thoughts on these projects?
My final thoughts are for the. Sorry, are we still? Can I talk about the feature films or?
Yeah, talk about anything.
Okay. The feature films seem promising. I'm hoping, since they seem to be promising the end of canceled releases and whatnot, I hope that they stay true to that.
Definitely. No more canceled projects.
No more canceled
or
projects.
tax write-off projects.
Especially that. All of these projects seem very interesting to me. I am hoping that Cat in the Hat has a very strong debut.
Me too.
Because they really need that right now.
Definitely.
Because I feel like with Warner Brothers feature animation specifically has never, like, they've had some hits here and there, but they just never really been consistent as far as like hits in the box office. I know last decade they've had a few hits with the Lego movies, but that was about it as far as I can remember.
Yeah, same. I think that's about it.
And I know they tried with Space Jam 2 this decade. That unfortunately didn't end up going as well as they thought it would, but there were a lot of factors behind that. Outside
I mean,
control.
they also dropped it on HBO Max the same day. It's like, I mean, you're killing your box office.
Exactly, that too.
It was hard to track its success.
I do think them, I mean, obviously them, like, how they treated Coyote versus Acme was a huge mistake. That's gonna bite them for sure.
It will bite them, but it will also give interest to the characters.
Yes.
And so that's interesting because the next time you're going to see the characters is before Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
So is that going to boost Cat in the Hat? I don't know.
I know. Hope so.
Hope so.
So going forward, I hope WB feature has a good future.
And one of the other things that we didn't mention was the Powerpuff Girls movie. This was announced right after the festival, and just kind of a quick, hey, we're developing it with Craig McCracken, the original creator.
So they are doing that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they are doing it. I mentioned at the top of the show, and it is happening, but we don't know who or how it's involved and how it is going to come out, other than, theatrically. But with the recent passing of Tom Kane, they're going to have to recast the professor role, but it will be interesting to have all of the girls back in their respective superpower outfits, and the blue, red, and green, and shooting across the screen. I think that will be really fun, especially for little girls to see, but also all the millions of fans that Powerpuff Girls has over generations. I'm one of them. I grew up on the show and I love it. So I'll be there day one, and I hope that it gets the love that it needs, and also a big budget. I think that'd be really fun. To see a new Powerpuff Girls movie with a lot of creative juice behind it.
Yeah. So. Powerpuff Girls is a huge inspiration for me. Like, my phone case is the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad that we'll finally be seeing the Powerpuff Girls again behind like Craig McCracken's like supervision.
Yes,
because it's been a while since we've gotten anything with like Craig behind it.
Exactly. So, final thoughts are, if Warner Brothers Pictures Animation is done with canceling projects, there is currently a project in limbo that they never said was fully canceled, but they never continued working on it after 2023, I believe, 2022 or 2023, and that was called Bye Bye Bunny, and that was going to be the first Looney Tunes for theatrical musical. And I am so interested to hear the story behind that, and if they are going to pick that up as a future Looney Tunes project. And I have already reached out to the writer and the director, and they said that they're interested in coming on the podcast to discuss that project. So we shall see if they have any updates for us. Okay. So anyways, Chris, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Master Donut, with donut spelled the proper way.
DONUT?
Oh, DOUG. Sorry, I'm.
Oh,
the
long way.
The long way. Yeah, Instagram spelled the long way. Master DOUGHNUT, and on Blue Sky, it's Master DONUT. Yeah.
So you just grab both.
Yeah, I just grabbed both. It's kind of hard because sometimes the username is kind of taken, like, the short way, like, everywhere. And
I do like the fact that you said the proper way, because when I moved out here, I actually interned at a company called Oops Donuts, and it was spelled the long way. Yes, that was
nice.
Andy Fickman's production company. He directed She's the Man and Game Plan, and yeah, that's how he met The Rock.
Oh, cool. How was The Rock?
Tall.
Tall? Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? I want to throw in another thing, because it was just announced. John Cena will be playing Johnny Bravo in something. I don't know if it's
okay.
I can't remember if it's a feature or a TV show, and I don't know what's confirmed or what's not confirmed, but I saw that rumor, and then John Cena just yesterday posted Johnny Bravo on his Instagram.
I did see that. I shared with my friends. I was like, "What does this mean? What does he mean by that?" It felt
Cena,
like.
Yeah, John Cena is how we found out that Coyote vs. Acme was canceled, and then also how it was uncanceled. So his social media, while cryptic, is also very intuitive if you know how to read it.
True. Just getting hit with that post felt like a threat. I was like, what do you mean by this, man?
I had read that he was playing the character before he posted it. And so when he posted it, I was like, oh, this is confirmation that he's actually going to go after this.
Okay.
And
Very
if he's an Elvis fan, I can see it. He just needs to incorporate a little bit of Elvis into his performance.
It's true.
But I'm excited about that. I really
very, very excited.
I really enjoy John Cena as a performer, especially in Coyote vs. Acme, August 28th. Yeah. Okay, Chris, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Did I interrupt you in telling people where to find you?
I think I told them about my Blue Sky.
Both donuts. DOUGHG. NUTS and DONUT.
Yeah. So on Instagram,
master of the donuts.
The master of the donuts. Instagram spelt the long way. On Blue Sky, spelt the short way.
There we go. And yeah, I mean, people can find your work on Jellystone season 3.
Yes.
And hopefully some more upcoming fun projects.
Hopefully some more stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I am available for storyboard revisionist works.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Hire this man.
Hire me, please.
And you can follow the podcast everywhere you download your podcasts at This Means Podcast. And of course, you realize This Means Podcast on Spotify and iTunes and Stitcher and everywhere. You can also follow us on Blue Sky and Threads, as well as we're no longer on X, but we are on, what was the other one? There's Facebook, and I mean the Instagram. The Instagram is the main one.
That's true.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram for all the major updates and to know that I'm recording today, as well as many other things. Just watch my stories for updates. And as always, that's not all, folks. Have a good one.
Have a good one.